Hi. So, okay, take me a while. So, hi. Hey guys. So, let me change to the different cam. So, hi. So today, like, what are we doing today? This is just this disclaimer. This is my first like YouTube live. I have never done this before. I kind of like get myself into a crash course into setting up like a live setup so that I can actually do it live. Took me a week to actually get things like done with the OBS thing and everything. So it's take me some time. So, but I'm pretty sure my broadcast today won't be perfect. But for those of you who watch right now or watch later, so if there's anything that you don't like or something that is like that I'm doing wrong, I would like to know that. So what are we gonna do today? Since we released the new Dirty Diablo, so this is what we're gonna talk about. But in order of, wait. Let me get this straight. So just so that you guys know, this video is not going to be short because it's a live and it won't be your typical 1 minute like easy digest kind of things. This is the whole purpose of me doing this live is so that I kind of get this done in the long form, explain about the pedals, show you about the sounds of the pedals and everything, so that it's a more detailed thing. So if you are looking for it's like a 1 minute thing, it's this not gonna be it. And I know a lot of people would always say like less talking and more tones. All right, yes, I can get that, but then this is not it. This is basically me talking about a product uh of a company which I work for. But if you put away the fact that I work for them, this is still my all-time favorite pedal. So I'm gonna spend a little bit time to talk about it, just so that like everyone knows. And also, if you are expecting me to like come up with some kind of sick blues riff, that is never going to happen because I am just not good of a player. So this is why I'm a builder. This is why I'm not like rocking stadiums. So let's go. All right. So in order for you to understand the Dirty Diablo, you first will need to know the regular Diablo. So the Dirty Diablo is a new variation that came out that designed by OKKO, which is our founder. That gets the Diablo into a more gritty territory, so that you feel the more grit, because Diablo is known for a really hi-fi sound and it's a very versatile pedal. But this is just a variation of it, and it's only available in bare metal enclosures, like I have mentioned before. I'm pretty sure if you're paying attention, you would know by now. Um, we just released this, and people seems to like it. So I just want to go on, jump into like making some sounds so that you guys can understand the pedal more. So in order for you to understand this pedal, you first need to know how the all regular Diablo sounds like. This is my all-time favorite pedal. I have it on my board since the day I started working for OKKO, and it never came off my board. And this is basically what I use for almost everything. And those of you who know, I also have my own brand, the Twilight Pulse Audio Works. I use this and also my own pedal a lot, but I use the Diablo more. So the whole concept of the Diablo is like, it's go back to 20 years, because OKKO wanted his original idea is basically to have a overdrive is so versatile that it can blend in with any amps you use and any guitar you use. This is why this pedal has 8 knobs and 2 toggles and 2 foot switch. This is a very well engineered pedal that has been around for 20 years. Um, you can say like, oh yeah, you will say good things about the Diablo because you work for them. Yes, that is also part of it. Or I should be saying nice things about them because I work for it, but I will let you know that I have known this pedal since 2009, when I was still actively playing in a band. And back then if you know, things are not so easy to get, and I know about this pedal, but I just never have any opportunity to get one. And that back then OKKO was still making like um hand painted enclosures and everything, right? So I was living in Malaysia back then. It's like I this is never going to happen. If I'm going to order one back then, it's going to be, it will cost me too much, and the logistic is just different. I remember someone, and there's like just too many problems, like when dealing with shipping and everything and all the costs and stuff. So I've never played one until I started working for OKKO in 2022, in the start of the year. So, and then that is when I finally got to like, I finally get to play one, and I instantly fell in love with this pedal. It's so good because it has the hi-fi sound. Like it changes the way I look at overdrives, because before that, I'm a guy who prefer like a hard clipper, like a rat. Like what I mostly do is just I will play a rat, and when I go into solo, I just push in the tube screener to get the mids. But this is basically changed the way I see things, because hard clippers basically you have very little dynamics. If you want the saturation, it's like it's a whole different game. It's like you hard clipper like the red or the dot 250 and stuff. It's a whole different thing. And overdrive, I always found like back then, I think like I felt like overdrive is just not heavy enough for me. It's like I just need a hard clipper. But this pedal makes me understand that you can also get heavy, but at the same time you can play like crunchy, like tones out of it. You can get heavy, but you are not losing your dynamics, which is something. It depends on what you like, I guess. It's like some people would like think that um I don't want the dynamics. It's like the dynamics, like if you're not that good of a player, then all your mistake comes out with all the dynamics. You really need to know what you're doing. I'm not too sure about that. For me, it's like I'm not a very good player to begin with, right? But I like the dynamics because I can feel it. Because a lot of people overlook overdrive pedals or amps or guitars. They look for the sound, right? This is, they say the sound is the end game, right? But for me, the whole feel when you play into something is a very important thing which people often like overlook. So then so this is why the Diablo comes in, because the Diablo have a dynamics knob. So the dynamics knob, some people don't understand that. People thought like the dynamics is basically like a bias knob. In a way it is, but it's not. It's like, you have to look at the dynamic knob as a different thing. Is the controlling the final voltage that you are feeding into the circuit, right? The only closest comparison I can give you is if just feel the difference when you play a 20 watt tube amp and a 100 watt tube amp. So like I said, a 20 watt tube amp is equal to basically the dynamics all the way low down, heavy, like darker and everything, less, much more saturation. And then when you play into a 100 watt, all the headrooms are there available in your fingertips, right? So you have to play differently to suit that, right? So this is such a useful thing, because it's like, although for me, I like the dynamics, I often almost dime the dynamic knob. Sometimes I put it at 3 o'clock, right? And then you have the feed knob. So the feed knob is basically something that is so so clever that whenever you play a guitar, right, you often feel like, I wish there is a bass cut knob which I can cut a little bit so that I can have more mids and cut through the mix, right? A lot of guitars builder, few of the guitar builders like actually does that. Like the Reverend have a bass contour knob which they actually like can reduce the bass in that you are feeding into the circuit of the guitar, or the pickup of the guitar, so you get a different sound, you get brighter. This is why the Reverend the Reverend that I have, which is the what's that the Double Agent W, basically. I have P90s and the humbuckers on it. But if I use the bass control knob, I can basically turn the P90s into a single coil sounding pickup, and as well as the humbucker, I can just use the bass contour to actually do that. This is why the fit is like such a clever design, and I think the bass contour knob that is irreverent should be in every guitar. Should be, because it's like it makes the guitar so much more versatile, like tone wise, with the things that you can achieve with that guitar, right? So this is the feed knob. So the feed knob basically push in, like depends, like cut your lows or up your lows. When you change to a different rig, the feed knob is everything. You use the feed knob to fit to suit what you are playing into, no matter what guitar you're using and what amp you're using. The feed knob is basically the key to this pedal. And the body knob is like, the body knob is basically is low. It introduces more low mids. So it depends on this is all about taste. Some people like their signal to have like more low mids, so that, well, it's like it's a bit thicker sound. So this is like a further fine tune, but you don't have to see it like so complicated. It's like, for me, if I up the voltage where I get a lot of dynamics, I will naturally up the feed so that I have more low end response. The body, I usually don't really do much with it because I don't think I need much more or much less low mids. So I usually put it right in the middle or a little bit below the middle, and that's it. And the tone knob is a tone knob. It's nothing much. It's just a tone knob. So if you want more highs, then you just up it. If you don't need so much high, I will just put it down. The rest of this is basically a 2-channel thing. So right, basically you are like these 2 channels that share the top row, right? So some people are still confused about it. This is kind of strange. Like after so many years, people are still confusing. Like the top row is shared by the 2-channel, so you are just switching the channel. So the whole purpose of the 2-channel is basically, let's say you have one channel like on low gain and high volume, right? And the other one you want to have high gain and lower volume. So you just kind of balance it out, and then you just switch between the 2-channel, but they share the same thing and share the toggle as well. So now to the toggle. So the toggle, there's 3 position. So the lowest position is basically the normal, the stock Diablo amount of input gain. This is your input gain. Middle, you have lower gain, and up is basically a top boost, right? So you have some kind of more chimier sound from the top, right? So I usually use it like stock, right? And the mids control is quite straightforward. All the way up is scoop, middle is mid boost, lower is stock mids. So now that you understand this, this is the Dirty Diablo. The Dirty Diablo have all the same control, but right now the response of, because of the saturation introduces like the more saturated, it's more saturated, and it has this more grit to it. So the low end is much more, so the controls naturally became a little bit different. But you will hear that in a while. I will just start playing it, and then you will start listening to it. You can make, like, you can judge it. The difference between the normal Diablo and the Dirty Diablo is it's not really huge, but it's a significant change in flavor, I would say, right? So that being said, let's get on to it. I'm pretty sure I've already spoken too much. I try to get this done as quick as I can because it's a hot day and I'm in the stuff room. Let's do this. I will off the mic on and off. So if you cannot hear me at some point, then I'm sorry. Maybe I forgot to turn on the mic again. I need the mic to be to the side. I will drag it on when I need to speak. All right. So let me get my guitar. All right. So this is my so I'm playing through things. Okay, my table right now is full of stuff and it's not the most stable, so you will see some shakiness. So this is I'm playing through my guitar into my Fender Jaguar from 1995, made in Japan, modified to hotter Samuel Duncan quarter pounders pickups. I mainly use neck. Playing into toe necks. I'm a big fan of the toe necks. I have two on my table as tabletop unit. Running one side Bartel Roseland and another side the Morgan Duo. The Morgan is basically to just balance it out. I like blending amps, so it might sound like I'm cheating, but it's not. It's like a lot of people start blending amps. When you want studio quality sound, you can try blending amps or blending caps and stuff. So I'm running into two tone X's. They are blended. So let me off the mic. So this is my clean tone. So I forgot to turn on the mic again. So I basically have the controls about the same, except for the dynamics. I will start off with the dynamic knob at full, just at full, right? Oh, hi, Fabian. I'm seeing you. All right. So let's start with everything stock. I will show you the difference between the... So I'll show you the difference between the old Diablo and the new Diablo. I'm not sure how level the volumes are, but I will tweak along the way. I will switch to the pedal cam right now. So, normal Diablo, Dirty Diablo. So the configurations, they are both about the same, but I'm not sure how level they are. So along the way, I will start tweaking that. All right, I'll switch off my mic now. So as you can hear, immediately you can actually hear that, right? Like, it's like the normal Diablo sounds much more hi-fi, and the grid coming out from the Dirty Diablo, it actually makes this how the difference between them. As I go along and I try to like show you how the response is of the Dirty Diablo is when I start turning down the dynamics, because it will get much more saturated. All right. So right now I'm gonna show you the feed response. All right. Let me keep the mic on so that I can speak too. Right. So now the feed is at full. So as you can see, with the dynamic all the way up, even when you turn the feed all the way up, it's not too overwhelming. Or you can turn all the way down. It sounds like sounds like some kind of like a guitar sound that come up from the radio, isn't it? This is where I like the feed knob is at usually. It depends, like the most I'm just running around 11 to 1 or 2 o'clock. It's I'm not doing too much with it, right? So I keep it down, right? I keep it in the middle right now, and I'm going to start playing with the body knob so you can hear the kind of like low mid response that is adding to the circuit. This is 0. And this is full. I would say there's too much, right? So empty. Full. It does a lot, right? The difference is a lot. I mean, for some people, like maybe they don't like that because it's like there's just way too much, like for them to tweak, right? But I got a feeling once you get to know the pedal a little bit better, you kind of figure out like which knob should be where for your own liking, right? So I honestly, I don't think there's any complicated thing that's going on with the Diablo. It's a drive pedal. It's like, how can like people are using like the hologram microcosm, like that is complicated. Like this is nothing, right? So let me put the low mids back to the middle, everything to the middle except for the dynamics, just all the way up. And then I'm gonna play with the tone knob, yeah, which is going to be quite predictable. This is full on blanket. So go back to middle. And now to 3 o'clock. Well, I like this around 1 o'clock. Basically, mostly for the normal Diablo, my feed is always at 1 o'clock, body at 11, and tone at 1. That is basically how I like it. But with the Dirty Diablo, I might do it differently because the low end resonance is much higher, so I will lower the feed a little bit and keep the body around it as well, and have the tone maybe slightly a little bit up. Apparently, I think just now I kind of clipped my signal a little bit, so I'm sorry for that. So now that we have done all the top, rows, I have to start talking about the toggles. Like I have explained before, the toggles is quite relatively simple. So I will basically keep everything at my my preferred settings, and I will go through that. All right, I will start off with the regular Diablo at first, and then I will move along to the Dirty Diablo. Right. So let's go on with let's do the input. So right now the input is stock. I will do low gain. So low gain, basically you have low input gain. With the low input gain, is you probably have more node separation. Then it's even increased the dynamics a little bit about how you play, because it has low gain. You have to really play in a certain way for your node to flourish. So let's do that. This is the top boost. So I'm done with the regular Diablo. Now we move on to the Dirty Diablo. So that is the input gain toggle switch. So right now what we're gonna do is to mid, which is quite straightforward. So again, I will start with the old Diablo and then I'll move on to the Dirty Diablo. This is stock. And this is mid boost. And this is the mid scoop. So, and this is the part where I think I should let's boost the Dirty Diablo into the normal Diablo, but I think I will go for lower gain on the normal Diablo and the higher gain. No, I just go for lower gain on Dirty Diablo with the mid boosted and everything kind of stock on higher gain Diablo. So this is how when you mix them both together, probably it's kind of noisy. I'm using single color as well. All right. So I'm going to end soon. Let's do high gain and high gain stack. Have everything stock, and it is high gain as well. This is gonna be noisy. So that's it. I actually got through this pretty well, unless there's a drop off somewhere that I didn't realize. But yeah, it's about 43 minutes. I'm not sure who's gonna watch this, but yeah, but the whole point of me like doing this live is because I have the tendency of always record something or shoot something, and then I just over edit. This is not perfect. I was just gonna do this better, gonna do that better, and stuff. So I just want to stop myself from being doing that to this project again, which I plan to do. Quite. I plan to do. If people like this, I at least like a little bit interested, I might just go live like every week or every 2 weeks or so, just hang out with you guys, which is hard too because like my streaming time is kind of hard to do because of my schedule. It's like every time I go live, it's neither here or there. It's not really. The crowd in Europe will be working. The crowd in the US will be sleeping, but at least like it's kind of serve as a documentation. Probably it's like a documentation of the work I do, just to show you guys the pedals that OKKO is pushing out, which is basically OKKO makes one of my favorite drive pedals. It's like if it comes to drive pedals for me, like there are a few that are really into, few builders I'm really into. Is basically OKKO from OKKO FX and John from EAE. He makes really amazing pedals as well. Um, and who else? There are like some smaller builders like Blue Colander in Poland. I love his stuff. It's like Blue Colanders. I basically have 3 or 4 like Blue Colander pedals always around. Um, Makes really good red, very good component, like top notch, like hand built craftsmanship. That's Blue Colander from Poland. Um, Other than that, like if it's come to digital pedals, I don't really use that many of them. Probably, I'm a big fan of Red Panda. I really like the Red Panda Particle and Red Panda Raster. When it comes to analog delay, probably I would like to get a sending from EAE at one point, but like as of now, I'm just using the typical deluxe memory man, which is like what I do with delays usually. I am just using like a quarter note and just and I just do like some kind of background like delay. It's like I'm not like really a big delay guy as well. I'll use delay for noise probably. Yeah. So if people like this and have the time to actually go through the video and just listen to some of the sound, if the sound is listenable, I'm not even sure because like this is my first time streaming. I'm not really sure how good everything sound or how everything looks. My setup is super basic. I'm running phones at as my cameras. Didn't really have like a modern camera so that I can do things so easily. I probably would do it. I will get one if this is gonna be a regular thing, which is going to be nice. I'm pretty sure I talk too much, but that's the whole point of the video. I'm sorry. If you want to listen to the tones but not me talking so much about my experience with the pedal and stuff, you might have to wait for a bit, which I'm going to cut the video to a certain section and I'm going to upload on Instagram because this is not meant for short form social media posts. This is for something that I do because I'm passionate about the pedals. I work for them. He's my mentor. OKKO is my mentor. I work for them and this is my all-time favorite pedal. So I'm just going to run through that. But if you guys would like me to do other pedals from OKKO, if I have the time, I will try to do it more consistently. Other than that, you guys can treat this like a demo for our pedals. So it's gonna be 1 o'clock now, so I think I better end it now. It's getting really hot. What a hot day. So I'm going to go to have lunch. I did this before lunch so that I don't have some kind of live burp or something. So, all right. Hope you guys actually like what I do, and check out the Dirty Diablo. It's an amazing variation of the Diablo. And if you haven't got a Diablo yet, get one. Uh, I speak this like really honestly from my heart. This is my all-time favorite pedal, all time, all time. And whenever like I get someone to try, whenever I get someone to try the pedal, and they end up like, oh man, not really my thing. It kind of hurts me a little because it's such a good pedal and it's my favorite. Um, yeah. So go try out the Diablo. Go try out the Dirty Diablo. We still have some stock back in the at the shop for the Dirty Diablo. We don't have many of them, but I think we have a few left. So if you guys want to grab one, go and grab one. If you think you like the sound of the normal Diablo more, we have stock as well. Check out our other pedals as well. They are really well made and sound unique. It doesn't sound like any other pedals that you have played before. It's like usually OKKO don't really copy existing pedals like a clone or tube screamer or what that we recently did for the Big Muff. But OKKO started playing with circuit with Big Muff. So Big Muff is basically what got him into making pedals in the first place. So he was really into remaking the green Russian muff and make it better. So the pedal is called BFGR So yeah, I have to go right now. It's getting way too hot. I hope that the next time I do this is gonna be the weather's gonna be a bit cooler. All right. So thank you guys. I will see you next time. Bye.